Good afternoon, everyone. I'm coming to you today from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, and I'd like to show you a few of my mud fossil samples, if I may. Now, I've got quite an assortment here on the table, so I'll let you have a look-see at some of the pieces that I do have. Now, these ones here, as you see, are quite crystallized, and if you look closely at it, it appears this piece is folded. So if you take half of this, bring it across, you've probably got a 10-inch, I believe is a fish by the skin or the color of the skin, and this one also I believe is the crystallized remains or mud fossil of what's left of a fish. And I believe this piece also, for all you fishermen out there, when you're cutting up fish, is that not what a hunk of fish looks like? Hello. And there's the other side, and you can see the full meaty flesh here with the red veins that you cut when you're cleaning your fish. And again, the same with this. There you have it. They will tell you it's a beautiful piece of amethyst, or quartz crystals or something like that, or agate, but it's not. This once was a living fossil of some kind. So don't let them fool you out there, kids. Don't let them tell you it's just a rock, because it's not. And here again is another mud fossil, and if I come in close, you can see the texture, you can see what once used to be the inside of a living, breathing creature, not just a stone. There inside, if you look close, you can see the insides of what once was a living fossil or creature, be it man or human or animal, but this once was a living creature. Now, I've learned that from watching Mud Fossil University, so if you too would like to find out more about our Earth, then I suggest you also go to Mud Fossil University. And here again, just a stone, you say, but you can definitely see the bone structure inside this piece. And the same again with this one. Again, you see the imprint of the bone structure of what once was a living creature. And again, here is another one. You can see the outside skin that is still on there, with some of it kind of worn away. And again, this isn't just a rock. This was part of a living, breathing creature. And again, here's a beautiful piece of agate. There's the black, which was the blood that came out of this once living creature. And how do we know that besides this black thing that you say, oh, that could be just dirt stuck in there? We turn the piece around, and there you see all the inside arteries, veins, corpuscles, and everything where it once would have attached to something living. Again, I learned this from Mud Fossil University, and if you'd like to learn that too, then go to Mud Fossil University yourself. And here's another piece that I thought was a treat. Petrified wood, but wood doesn't bleed. So, there again, this is part of what once was a living, breathing creature, be it animal or human. Trees don't bleed blood. Sorry. Now here is a very interesting piece. You can definitely see that this once was a living creature and not just some rock that is randomly set on the side of a hill or near a creek or river or something. You can definitely see that this once was part of a living, breathing creature. Now here's another one also. Now, rocks don't have intricate little beehive configurations like this. Skin tissue does, body tissue does, but not rocks. So there you are. Another very interesting piece. And here again is another very interesting piece. And this again isn't just a rock. And this one also. Now it's called the brain. But if you can see and look closely, you will see it's not just a rock. This came from a living, breathing creature. And I'm hoping if Mud Fossil University is watching this video, he can help me figure out what some of these pieces are and what parts of the body they come from. Now, here's also another piece that they want to tell you is just a rock. But rocks don't have things like this in it. This tells me it came from a living, breathing creature. And it's not just a rock that beautifully fossilized or came from some volcanic eruption that they, may want you to believe. And here's an interesting piece. Beautiful amethyst, isn't that what you're saying? That's gorgeous. But when you flip it over to the other side, you will see that beautiful amethyst piece, like the other ones, came from a living, breathing creature. Now this is bone structure that is fossilized. It isn't just a rock that happened to form like that. This became because of the minerals inside our bodies. Hence the different gems, and if you want to learn more, again, I suggest you watch Mud Fossil University. Now, here's an interesting piece I was sent from Oregon by a friend of mine. As you can see, it's got the beautiful coloring here on the top, which if you look close, is blood. Now, if I took this and put it in water for you, in a clear bowl, I could show you that that would come out red. It wouldn't just be clear water. It would be red, just like the blood that's in us and running through us today. And of course, here's the back end of it. And again, you see where the rust red blood came out of whatever this piece is. And again, hoping Mud Fossil University can help me with what this is and where it came from in the body and whether it is animal or human. Now, Mud Fossil University talks a lot about fingers and toes and things like that, and this one here struck my eye. I've had it for a while, didn't know what it was, and again, Mud Fossil University posted a video on thumbs and toes and things like that. Now, I'm not quite certain for sure if that's what this is, but it certainly looks exactly like the one he shows in his video. And I'm hoping that, again, if he watches my video, he can tell me if, yes, this is, in fact, a thumb or a finger or a toe of a creature, human or otherwise. Here also is another interesting piece that, of course, on this side it looks just like a basic rock, but when you turn it over, I don't know if you can see that good enough, but it almost looks like a screw, even though it's not. It's part of the insides of something that once was living and breathing. Now, what part of the body this from, I unfortunately couldn't tell you. I'm not a professional, and I'm just showing you all my unusual pieces that I have. And here again is another unusual piece that isn't just a rock. I believe it still has the outer casing of flesh or something. And there you have that one. And this one here is a very unusual piece that I found in my travels. Definitely not just a rock. And it kinda, to me, looks like a bird. The wings and the feathers, or the wings and the body. Okay, I'll turn it around both ways because I can't remember which way it is, but you can definitely see that it's not just an ordinary rock. Now, Mud Fossil University also showed a piece exactly like this, and this was the first piece that I actually seen on Mud Fossil University that caught my eye. It was the first video I'd seen, and when he held that up, I just about fell out of my chair because I said, hold on a second here, and immediately paused the video to grab my piece so that I could put it up to the computer right beside the piece that he was showing us. And lo and behold, it was the exact same piece. Same with this one. I'll try to lay it out that way so you can get the shape. and how thin that piece is. And again, here's another piece, and you might think, oh, it's just a rock. But look at the residual blood that has obviously came out when this creature passed away. And here's some more of the same, and you can see the marbling effect. And if you buy a cut of meat, beef, or whatever, you're going to see the exact same thing. And of course, there's those two things that Mud Fossil University talks about. The vein going in and the vein going out, I believe. And hopefully, if I'm wrong, he's going to correct me on that. And again, here's another piece that isn't just a stone, it's a part of a living creature. You can see the meat, the marbling effect. And again, here is another one. The meat, the marbling effect. And here also is a great big piece of quartz. Now you might think, oh, it's just a piece of quartz. Natural, but it's not. See the red, the rust? This tells me, from watching Mud Fossil University, that this was a living, breathing creature, be it human or animal. Now, this one here, I don't know if you can get those beautiful crystals in there, but I believe this is a chrysalim. But it's not just a pretty rock. If you flip it over onto the other side, you can see that it once was attached to a living, breathing creature. It wasn't just a rock that formed ever so pretty like. So don't believe what they tell you. And again, here's a big, beautiful, beautiful piece. Whoa, it's very heavy. And it might look just like, oh, a piece of quartz that, wow, just grew like that. Natural. No, look close. I'm not too certain if this also is another hunk of fish species or not, but I'll put it down because it is getting quite heavy. You can see that it once was a living, breathing creature, not just a rock. Beautiful species indeed. And for my final, this one here I don't know what is, so we'll throw that out. I don't know if it's a tool or part of something, because it does have the oxidization of blood in between, but also has this, which has really confused me. So I don't really know what that is. And of course we've got pieces like this, but it's not just a beautiful crystallized rock. As you can see, there's the red rust, which proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, for me now, since watching Mud Fossil University, that this was in fact part of a living, breathing creature. And the same with this beautiful agate piece that they say, oh, it's a beautiful piece of agate. But if you see, it's not just a beautiful piece of agate. This came from, again, a living, breathing creature, and was made by all the chemicals that are in our bodies naturally, not the ones the government puts in. These are the ones that are in our bodies naturally at birth. And here's a few other pieces. As you can see, the red rust, right? And they're all part of, a living, breathing, once was human or animal. And that is where that red rust comes from. It doesn't come from the soil. It comes from the blood that emanated out of the body at death. Now I'm trying to see what else I missed here. Oh yes, we forgot a few of the really awesome pieces. This is another piece. Don't know what it is, but I thought I'd show it anyway. And I almost forgot some of the really interesting pieces. And I'll move these ones out of the way so that you can see. This one here, I'll try and put it that way. As you see, is a petrified jawbone, albeit quite small if you see in comparison to my finger. So we've lost quite a bit of it, but it's still a beautiful piece nonetheless. And you can see the teeth are still in there. So I'm assuming that's an animal. And of course this here is also just a jawbone of something I found, just to show you the comparison of the shape of the jawbone. Now here's the piece de resistance on my jawbones. Don't know if you can catch that, but this is the jawbone with part of a tongue attached. Now here's the back of the piece. As you can see, it's got the red rust coloring where it would have been attached to the rest of the tongue that is now dissolved. This piece was black when I first got it. This is from Oregon also, this piece. The same as this piece here was from Oregon. But surprisingly, most of my pieces are from Oregon, as this was also, as well as this piece here. And this one here was also from Oregon, as well as this one. And this one also is from Oregon, as well as this piece here. Now, we have one other piece that is also the piece de resistance, besides my crystal jaw and tongue. Now I'll move these back so you can get a real view of it. Now, I think I know what it is. but I'd like to get your opinion. Here's the bottom, which is obviously part of or belongs to a human. As you see, there's all the ventricle holes where it would have attached to the body part. Okay, now this also here is, as you see, part of a body also, not just a rock. You can see the bone structure inside it. And of course, here's another little piece. As you can see, it's part of the body. A little bit of rust in here, which tells you, like I said, it came from a living, breathing creature. Now these pieces, I forgot all about them. We have so many to show you. Now these ones are all quite interesting. I think these are little vertebrates. This one also, and this one. I don't know why, but for some reason this one here has been smoothed out, flat as a baby's bum. So whether it was used as a tool later in life, because it appears to be, as you can see, it's got a little spot where your finger fits in beautiful. Now here's another one also, just like it's a little nodule of something. Whether it's another vertebrate, I don't know, but quite an interesting piece. And here again is another. I've got so many pieces on the table that I don't want to miss giving, letting you see them all. And again, I don't know if I showed you this one, but you can see again the insides of what appears to be obviously part of a body part, not just a rock. So let's scan the table, see if we missed anything. Yes, here we go. Here's another beautiful crystallized piece of bone. It's not just a rock. It's not a tree. Trees don't have blood. They don't spew blood. I hope you can see this well enough. But there it is. And like I said, if you want to learn more, go to Mud Fossil University. Now, here, of course, with our body cycles and functions, with life becomes death, and since all these here are related to dead creatures, we can't forget the mud fossil scat. And here's just a few pieces of the scat that I have collected. And of course I couldn't tell you which animal they came from. And this one here, if you look closely, I don't know if I can get it or not, but you can see little fibers of what they've eaten. Now I don't know if I'm getting it in or not, or whether you can see it, but there is little fibers still in here of what the creature had eaten. And again, here's more scat. Don't worry, kids, it's dead, long overdue. And another piece. And a few more pieces of scat. And another piece of scat. And the last and final piece of scat. So I hope you enjoyed my video today and all my mud fossils that I have. And if you're interested in learning more about mud fossils, I suggest to go to Mud Fossil University on YouTube, and there's where you will learn a lot of information, and it'd be great for the children. So there you go. Thank you from Anna, and you have a wonderful day, and hope you enjoyed my video.